Welcome to Small Town Times podcast. Our guest today is Nadia with you from the Ukrainian community here in North Bay. You just had a meeting to try to help organize on Sunday. We're recording this on Monday, and I'd like to know how the meeting went.
Hi, Dave. Nice to see you today here. The meeting actually went pretty well. We settled on the course for the Ukrainian community, how we would be able to develop it further, and what are the main problems and things we would like to work on this year. At the same time, we were able to gather more people, to engage more people to the community. They also came with their pieces of advice, helpful tips, how to work and how to establish it more effectively. I think the main development and the main achievement that we had for yesterday, that was the Ukrainian school, which is about to open in North Bay. So kids, even adults, who are willing to start learning Ukrainian and dive into Ukrainian traditions and customs and language, culture, etc. So they would be able to also take some Ukrainian language courses to start speaking. Yeah, so if you'd like, you are welcome to join.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah, but as for the kids, so still that was our main top priority, to make it for the kids, so that to make sure that our kids, I personally have 3, so I want to be firm, and I want to be sure that they would keep their language in the family, and at the same time they would be speaking Ukrainian with their peers, friends, people with Ukrainian background, nationality, and etc. So that was the main priority for yesterday, and I think we have achieved that successfully because we have already settled the start date for the school.
And when is that?
February 23rd.
Oh, very soon.
Which would be actually connected with the charity event that we are about to do as well, to make it for the to mark the 3-year of the official full-scale war between Russia and Ukraine, and to also make it this charity event to donate some money to Ukrainian armed forces, or to buy some equipment for them to be able to continue the war and to win for Ukraine. So that would be 2 in 1. We would be holding this charity event, and at the same time we'll also mark the official opening of the Ukrainian school.
Where's the charity event going to be?
We have agreed to hold it in the chess studio. One of Ukrainians is actually the owner, so he is willing to give us the place, and there we will have the charity event, and at the same time we will also establish the school.
Well, his chess studio, I had him for a podcast interview about a year ago. And that's near the bingo hall.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly there. A nice man. Dmitro is his name. Yeah, we've chatted, and he's eager to help. And actually, he's also the one who has decided to speak Ukrainian again, to start learning Ukrainian. So everyone's welcome. And
Where's the school going to be?
They're in the place too. So we are
So he's going to host the classes, and they're going to have what type of a charity event?
There will be a charity event with the auction, with some merchandise or things from the community. We will be doing different engaging activities for the community. So at the same time, again, there will be the auction where people would be selling their goods or some pictures, Ukrainian national books, embroidered shirts, etc. And the raised money would be funded to Ukrainian armed forces or the other community or charity organizations which are in need. Right. But still, the main goal is to raise the money for the Ukrainian armed forces. At least everything that we can make, we would like to sell there.
Right. Well, I remember there was some fundraising going on with the Vest Group. Is that
no? That would be
different.
Yeah, that would be different. Still, we do appreciate what Vest Group does. That's vital. That's very important. But we'd like also to do something
avenue.
We would like also to do something from our from the community, exactly, because still we are in the process of developing this strong community. It hasn't had such a connection as we're doing it now. So we are aiming at making people together, making them more engaged, to at the same time to help them to integrate in the society, to make sure that they would find their place here in Canada, and especially in North Bay, because it's hard when you come, especially in under the work conditions, when you don't plan your immigration. I can compare it to myself, because as for us, for my family, when we came to Canada, so we planned it beforehand. We came in 2021, just right before the war started. But that was a well-planned decision, well thought. We estimated every single step in Canada, what we would be doing thoroughly. So we were sure what to do, how to do. We knew about every immigration program in Canada. So we knew exactly what we are going to earn in this country, what we are going to have, and how we are going to move. As for the others, unfortunately, they didn't have this opportunity to plan their steps ahead, and they were not ready to leave their country, to leave their warm homes, the life that they have worked for hard, and just pack it in one suitcase and
war came
go
and
abroad.
dislocated
Yeah.
them.
And now a lot of Ukrainians, they're just scattered around the planet, I think. Still, but since we have this ability to help each other, so our main priority still remains the same, to make sure that all Ukrainians in North Bay and Canadian Ukrainians who are willing to connect with their roots, who maybe have forgotten what their granny used to tell them about Ukraine, so they would be able to find the support and this nationality, this national identity of Ukrainians here within our community boundaries.
Well, how many new arrivals to North Bay with from Ukraine? How many?
In my personal opinion, still we didn't do the math, but I think it's around 300 like together, because a lot of people came with their families. Some people have 2, 3 children. We, for example, we have 3, so that's already 5 only of us. And we personally brought 5 families here as well in the wartime. So I think everyone has brought someone too. And it's like counting. So like I think we would easily have like 300 newcomers here in the past 3 years.
Before we got started, I asked you about how to pronounce your last name.
Yeah.
That you've taken from your husband.
Yeah.
But also I wanted to know about your own maiden name and its roots.
Yeah, so my surname, my last name from my husband's is Stukalova. Unfortunately, that's a sad story because my husband's grandpa was forced to change his name into his last name into the Russian one. Originally, it's Stukalo, and this is the right Stukalo last name. As for my maiden name, it's Babichuk, which is originally Ukrainian one. That's from my father's. And but I do also have in my family, so not only Canadians have Ukrainian roots, but I also have in my family some Polish roots. So still we have like this thing. And actually we are having in the plans to return to our original last name, which is the correct one in the family, so that is Stukalo. And our youngest son, who was born here in Canada in 2023, so he is already Daniel Stukalo.
Oh,
so we wrote in his birth certificate that he's Daniel Stukalo. Still, we have a lot of problems with that, especially to convince the Ukrainian embassy that this is our son, because we have different rules in Ukraine. We have to make sure that the kid will have either father's last name or mother's last name, and this is totally third, somewhere in the middle. So still, we are having a hard time by registering him as the Ukrainian as well. But here in Canada, he's Daniel Stukalo. He will be carrying the correct surname of the family, like further. We hope so. I hope that he won't change it.
I know there's a lot of history and talk about. There's people that think we shouldn't be helping Ukraine fight for its independence and to continue that independence that was declared after the Soviet Union collapsed. And this, the Russians believe, or some, that Ukraine is just part of them. Can you give us a little bit of an understanding from your perspective of why it's important to be independent from Russia?
What I can say that people who are still convinced that Ukraine is a part of Russia should just go deeper into history and to know that Ukraine has never been the part of Russia, and Ukraine, Kievan Rus, which is actually originally Rusины, Ukrainians, have been existed way more before the Russians barking somewhere in the bushes. Because we are the true ancestors of the Kievan Rus. We are the Rusyns, not Russians, but Rusyns. And Russians, they just simply stole every heritage which is originally from the other nations, from the other countries, and they claim it to be theirs. Even now, there are a lot of fakes on the internet where Russians say originally Ukrainian national songs and claim that this is theirs, which in fact is not. Even vyshyvankas, embroidered shirts, which have always been the true heritage of Ukraine, they also now are posting fake videos that this is Russia's. So I think this is the main reason why Ukraine has always was actually considered independent and should be always considered independent, because this is a sovereign state, a separate country which has nothing to do with Russian culture. They are like originally north and south into the opposite directions. Russians, this is the amalgamation of something of the Mongolian, I think, of that part. So again, I wouldn't like to go like much into history, but I think people who are still hesitating what Ukraine is, please learn the history. Please go into the history sources. There are a lot of good English-speaking sources, verified sources, where the information is true and correct. So it's okay to read posts on the internet, I mean TikToks, Facebooks, and simply blindly believe that they are okay. But no, go to the sources, read the history, and you will know where is what and who is what and what is what. What's Ukraine? What's Russia? How Ukraine was established? How Russia appeared? And that would give all the answers which are necessary that Ukraine has always been an independent state. It has never been a part of Russia and never will be.
Okay, that's good. I wanted to hear that from you. And I wanted people to understand that some of the information that they're getting is incorrect.
At the same time, a lot of sources are closed, and still people who are above us, they always verify what to give and how to give it. Still, there are many facts which are just, I'd say, shredded in their own way, and these pieces just fall into people's ears, and they blindly believe that this is true and correct. No, just good books, good verified sources, libraries, go check, and you'll know the information.
Full disclosure for the viewers, I have a little bit of Ukrainian blood in my ancestry. My mom's father was Ukrainian, Harishka. It's got changed
Havrish.
Havrish.
Yes.
Havrish.
Yeah, that's originally Ukrainian last name.
Yeah, and we're all scattered, and there was no culture in the raising of my mother or anything like that, so very disconnected. But and also I have some German roots, but mostly Irish and Welsh and a little Scottish, I think.
Amalgamation. Yeah, many roots.
But I am a Canadian.
Still.
Right?
Yes, you are.
And but for some reason, there's a nostalgic connection that makes me want to be interested in it. I'm not sure if I'll be able to learn the language. I'm not very good at language learning, but
you can come and try, because actually I'll be conducting the classes for the adults. Yeah.
Well, let's do one simple lesson right here, right now.
Okay.
How would I ask for a glass of water?
Будь ласка, можна склянку води?
Pardon?
Будь ласка. Можна склянку води? Можна склянку води? I'd say it's perfect. Yeah. Just 3 more tries.
I'll have to practice on my own.
Yeah. But again, it's all about practice. Believe me, this is the same what people do with English. Yeah. And still they don't believe me if I say that English is much easier than Ukrainian.
Right.
But in fact it is.
English is easier.
Much easier, yeah.
Well, actually, not that I was really pronunciating very well there, but that seemed easier than when I tried to pronounce French. Because I was tongue-tied as a child, so I can't roll. Like I don't have a lot of control over my tongue. And I've always had troubles with certain languages. Spanish was actually easier than French for me. And there's no way I can speak Gaelic. There's no way. I don't think. But anyways, it's interesting when you try to learn a new language.
Yeah,
how about just hello, I'm glad to meet you.
Привіт.
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 Радий познайомитись.
Very just like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to slow it down and.
Радий познайомитись. So, yeah.
I'm not going to try right now.
Okay.
I'm shy. Okay. But well, that's great that you guys are going to have a school for people to learn their language, and it's going to be launched on the 23rd of February.
Yeah.
The same time as your fundraiser.
Yeah. This is the planned date. We have the program ready. We have a great teacher. She has a lot of experience with the kids. As for me,
is that the lady that was up at Nipissing University?
Oksana, I think she was.
I did a video of them singing the anthem. the choir up there.
yeah. I think she's taking part in the choir. Yeah,
Because she's an early childhood education.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. She will be working with the
She was
kids.
very nice.
Yeah. She's adorable. Like everyone adores her. And as for me, I will be conducting the classes for the adults because I'm also a teacher. But I'm an English teacher. That's the thing. So, but still, I do have a lot of experience with working with adults. So I will just do it in reverse for Canadians and for Canadians, Ukrainians to teach them Ukrainian.
And what would the cost for those type of lessons be?
Actually, we haven't even settled the price yet, but we are still in the process of dealing with it. And I think we would, as for the adults, because Oksana is doing it for the kids, so that's, I'd say, her, that's her epiphany. And as for me, I would be doing it for the adults. I would be doing it like part of the speaking club, and then some rules, again, explained with the help of the speaking activities, because my approach into teaching people English is the same. I always try to implement the rules with speaking activities. So the moment they learn the rule, they already apply it at the practice. So they start speaking, they start using this rule, not just simply write, because they can do writing practice at home. But as for speaking, that takes time. And also, you said that it's hard for you to pronounce Ukrainian words. So believe me, people have the same with English. So it's also hard to them to pronounce English words. So that is why all my main goal is always at speaking, to make sure that they would correct the pronunciation, they would be okay with saying the sentences, they would have this flow out of themselves, but not just simply translate the sentences from one language into the other. So yeah, this is...
I've noticed that you guys speak fast.
Yeah, we do. But it also depends on the character of the person. I react
So not
quickly.
everybody speaks as fast as you?
No, not at all. So as for me, I'm very quick in my actions, so that is why I also speak fast.
Well, you have an Instagram account that you've been helping. You got 34,000 subscribers, followers. And you help them with information about how to get settled and what to do?
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, the funny thing is that this is my second Instagram page, because before that, I used to have a page of 7.5 thousand followers, and Instagram blocked me just right before the war started in 2021, October. Oh. And I opened this page. So I just registered this one because I still had the hope that maybe my old page would come back, but unfortunately didn't. And I remember when the war started, I had around 2,000 followers in March 2022, and I wrote my first explanation post about the CUAET program for Ukrainians, which Canada was about to launch. And overnight, I woke up with 10,000 followers. So this is how I grew my account up to 35,000 at that moment. So still, because this is the skin. And people were seeking for the information. They needed help. They desperately needed help with moving abroad, to get settled, to know what to do in the country, how to work, how to plan their immigration for the future. I wish I had the same blog when I was deciding to move to Canada, because there were few pages, but they were briefly giving some information, some facts, I'd say some random facts about lifestyle in Canada, but not about immigration. So me and my husband, we had just to dig into everything ourselves. We looked for the information. We read all the official websites, so we knew every single aspect of that official website to know that would help us to get settled and to know how to plan our life in Canada. So I think my blog helped those people to come here, to get settled, to know what to do, where to direct their attention, and at the same time to know how to plan their immigration thoroughly, because this is the main aspect. When you come to the country, you have to think about how you will get your permanent residence, especially here, because this is not an easy task. We got ours in 2023. It was a hard path, but now we are a year away from...
What was the hardest part about it?
My husband had to work. He had to go back to roofing work. He used to do it in Poland. Then we were having our own English school in Poland. Before coming to Canada, we used to live in Poland for 5 years. So we are pretty old immigrants. That's our 9th year in the immigration. So we left Ukraine in 2016, as for me, my husband in 2014. And when we came to Poland, I was 8 months...
Where were you in Ukraine before you went to Poland?
I was a teacher. Yeah? Yeah, I used to teach in the private English school and also in the public school.
And where?
Yeah. In the Ivano-Frankivsk region. So that's the western part of Ukraine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. So you felt that... the western part?
Yes, the western part.
So closer to...
to Poland. Yeah. That was the thing. And when we moved there, so my husband had to also do some work to earn for the living because I was 8 months pregnant with our first daughter. I also started studying at university, being 8 months. Oh, sorry,
It's okay.
being 8 months pregnant. But so he had to do some job for a living, and he went into a roofing company to do roofs. And we then later on a year later, we have established our own English school in Poland. We started doing our English courses. I was conducting the classes. We had some other teachers who were helping me. So we grew up to, so like per semester, we taught around 120 people.
Oh,
So that was a pretty good number, like both adults and kids and teenagers. And so he already like quit the job being the roofer because he had like we were doing this business together. I'm in the school. And then in 2020, when COVID came, that was a rough and hard time for everybody. I was pregnant with my second baby, and we were just sitting on the sofa, and he said like, let's go somewhere. Let's move. I was like, okay, where? He said, oh, let's go to Australia. I was like, no, too far. And I'm just leaving the word. Oh, let's go to Canada. And he started like, okay. So in half a year,
why Canada?
that's the thing. Still, believe me, I still can't give the answer. Maybe because before that, in 2013, I was in the U.S. So I used to live in the U.S. for a couple of months. In 2015, he was in the U.S. So maybe we had this feeling that it would be nice to go back to North America because we already knew this style. We like it very much. But again, if choosing between Canada and the U.S., we chose Canada because of the social support, which is here, because of the easier immigration that is possible to get here. And we knew about this express entry program. So at that time, we thought that would be our path to Canada. So I would be the main applicant. But the thing happened that he got the job offer in North Bay here. And this is how we ended up here. So we just directly came to North Bay. We learned that our NIP program is here. It's functioning. Right. So we would apply here. We would get our permanent residence. But still, he had to work on roofs in minus 35, 70, 80 hours per week. It wasn't easy. And at the same time, when the year passed, so we had to already start preparing our documents for permanent residency here, like, again, for this program, our NIP. He had to study to learn English to get the score we needed for the program. And he said, like, you're the English teacher, and I'm the one, actually, who has to do the job, like, for that. But that was the thing. So it was hard. It was really hard. And I had to look after kids to manage my schools because we transferred them online. So like from offline schools in Poland, we had to transfer them online because we didn't want to lose that. And in Canada, so I had to also work in the mornings, then in the evening time with the school. So it was really hard, but we've come through that. So now we are here, and with 2 years of having permanent residence already. So I think we are like a couple months away from applying for the citizenship.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Should we plug the company he works for or not?
Yeah, actually, that's my own company.
Oh, it
yeah,
is?
Yeah. I'm having my own English school. So
okay.
Yeah,
I meant his roofing.
Roofing company. I think now he's not working for them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he quit the job. Yeah, in April.
Yeah. What's he doing now? Is he?
He's working with his friend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Right.
still doing roofing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Right. And the school's going to be, what are you going to call the school?
We haven't settled on a name yet. You know that? Actually, that's a nice thing to think. Yeah, no, we haven't discussed. We just put the Ukrainian school on this side for now. You know? But I think there would be something Ukrainian. I think we have to talk with Oksana about that.
Right.
Yeah.
Pick something good.
Yeah.
It's important to get a good logo so people like your logo. I'm just plugging my own logo.
Yeah. Did you like the logo of the community? Have you seen that?
Yes,
yeah,
that's
I
pretty
made
cool.
it. Yeah,
Oh, right on.
yeah. But we've tried to combine North Bay, Canada, Ukraine, and I think it went out perfectly.
I'll try to get a copy and put it on here. So
yeah.
people
Oh,
can see it.
nice. Thank you.
What kind of challenges are some of the new Ukrainian people in North Bay facing this year?
I think the main challenge, and it will be always top number one, that people come without English. Because if they have to solve some questions, if they need some help or like simple piece of advice, and no one from Ukrainian is around, so they have to speak. And if they are not able to express their thoughts, so they may have this fear that they have understood something incorrectly, that they are not able to express themselves, to solve, that they are helpless without the language. Because this is the first thing when you need. You come and you have to talk. You have to go to the doctor. You have to, let's say, pay your bills. You have to go to the bank to open the bank account. So these are the hard tasks. So this is the main priority. Then homesickness. Some of the people are still getting homesick because especially if they come unprepared, so they do tend to think that the new country has to be either ideally perfect or correspond to their expectations, which is not always the way they are, because some people do not do research on the country which they are going to, and they come in these pink glasses of having the perfect reality and that everything's perfect, like in the movies that we are shown in Ukraine, like American style movies, like everything, clean house, clean kids, clean streets, and etc. So this is not the thing. So like the expectations may not always meet the things that they face in reality. That is bad. Comparisons. People tend to compare where they come from and the country they came to. And again, these are two diverse things. Canada is a different country. Ukraine, for example, is a different country. We cannot compare services. We cannot compare lifestyles. These are different mentalities, different people, different needs, and different answers to the questions. So if you want to have the same as in Ukraine, then you shouldn't leave. You should be in Ukraine. You can't come to the country and set your own rules. This is not possible. You come to the country, you accept the rules that the country gives you. So either you play by them or you just go back. But at the same time, I think that people who have found that Canada is not their type of country are very brave if they go back and try again. Because this is not an easy decision to honestly say to yourself that, sorry, this is not my country. I don't like it. No, I'd rather go back. This is not easy. A lot of people stay and complain that something is wrong, but they don't change it. So I think that's the biggest mistake that newcomers, every nationality can make. If you don't like it, go and change, leave, be honest with yourself. Like, don't suffer. Go and do this. And I think this is also the challenge that Ukrainians may face here. If they don't like it still, either they have to give themselves the time to get settled, to learn the rules of the game, or change it. Change it, leave, and I always say, don't complain. Do something not to complain.
Yeah. I think probably one other, just that fits right in with your expectations and reality sort of theme, is that there's a big difference between North Bay and Toronto.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
right?
it
so
does.
Even in the same province, in the same country, there's a big difference between North Bay and Saskatchewan.
Yes.
Actually, we're closer to Saskatchewan as far as weather and other things go. And so if you visit Ottawa and decide to live in North Bay, those are two different places.
Yeah, right? That's true.
Two different realities. And I realize that all across Canada, there's a housing shortage.
Yes.
Early in the interviews I did with the new Ukrainian refugees, really, they would have been more people here if there was more housing. Yeah,
that's true. But at the same time, this is not about the housing. This is about the climate, the city. People think that the smaller town is the last opportunities they will have. And I think that's a mistake. Because if you're a specialist, if you have English, if you want to grow, and especially if you work online, so it's easier for you to get a house in North Bay and pay less than pay a huge amounts of money in Toronto for have you
Very
seen
little.
So have you seen those boxes which are being sold for $1 million? I think that's horrible because in North Bay you can buy just a luxurious house for such an amount of money. So again, it depends on that. And as for the climate, because many people say that they tend to believe that North Bay is pretty cold. This is my 4th winter here. And I'd say there are just a couple of days which are really cold, and then that's pretty much okay. This is kind of the same winter that we used to have in Ukraine when I was little. Pretty much the same. We had -20. That was fine. We were playing outside. We had a lot of fun with the kids. I could be seen early in the morning and then late at night when I came home all like wet, cold, but I was okay because I was playing with the friends. We were skiing, sledging. It was fun. So I think that's pretty much the same. Maybe we just forgot how it was.
Yeah.
Because now in Ukraine, we don't have such severe winters as we
way.
used to. Now the climate has changed drastically. So, but basically, if you want the same Ukrainian winter, come here. And you'll have this feeling.
If you want the nostalgia of an old Ukrainian winter, this is where you'll find it.
But for me now, it's cold. For my kids, it's okay.
This isn't the winters that you've experienced aren't the winters we experienced 20 years ago either.
Yeah,
right?
so again, it's changing.
Yeah, I grew up in Caperall, which is a small town north of Sudbury, down the road, and grades 7 to 11. And we had monstrous winters with snowbanks.
Oh, wow.
And that was normal. It was normal. And to be walking home in minus 40, minus 45, and the snow's crunching, and you can't breathe because it hurts.
Oh.
And I lived in Kapuskasing, which is about
My
north
husband
of
was
here,
there.
right?
Yeah.
And those winters still minus 50, right? Like everything freezes.
Yeah.
Right? But it's nice and dry cold, right?
Yeah.
And if you have arthritis, it's actually better in Kapuskasing than it is in North Bay.
Yeah, because of the weather.
Dry weather.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
It's
So
easier.
I'm glad you really, it seemed like you enjoy North Bay.
We had the thoughts of moving somewhere, but then we realized that actually this is a perfect town. Actually, it reminds me of my native town in Ukraine, Kolomoya, which pretty much the same in the quantity of people. So North Bay has 52,000 officially, maybe 55, 56, because it changes. Yep. Yeah. As for Kolomoya, my native town, it has 60, 70. So again, pretty much the same number. Everything's close. You can either
It's a good
walk.
place to raise a family.
Yeah, you can drive. Our kids adore the school they go to, and I see their happy faces. I see that I'm okay with these distances. I don't need some pompous, say active lifestyle. I'm having a family. So for me now, the priority is to feel comfortable, safe, and not to spend a lot of time in the traffic jams. So if we feel nostalgic about all this rhythm, because in Poland, we used to live in the approximately 1 million people city. So that was Wrocław, which is close to the German border. And we were always stuck in the traffic jam. So it was a lot of people, density, a lot of tourists coming to the city. Now, if we feel nostalgic, we go to Toronto. Yeah. We are stuck for an hour in the traffic jam, and we come back and we're okay. And we're like, oh, wow. Oh, no. We'd like to go back to North Bay where we can drive everywhere 5 to 10 minutes and we're home and we save time. So for us, now time is very precious. It's the main thing that we have to value.
I lived in Toronto. I lived in Ohio. I lived in Pennsylvania. I've lived in numerous different places.
Geography is
and Kapuskasing, and I find North Bay was the best pick for me. For what I wanted was to raise a boy here, and to keep him in one spot for his school age. And it was a great community. It has been great to me. And I think a lot of people, once they're here, they realize what the value is.
Yes.
You have lakes and forests that are just within reach. You have lots of elbow room, right?
Yeah,
and if you have a little bit of extra, I bought a small house outside of town because I don't like to have neighbors.
Maybe?
Corbeil.
Corbeil. Yeah. That's a nice area. Yeah.
And so you can find a place that's close that works for you, and it's North Bay is a good place.
We bought 2 houses already in North Bay, actually.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, yeah. We bought one in 2022, actually 4 months after we came to Canada. That was after my official 4 month. And then, again, we grew, the family grew, so we have bought the other property in 2023, and we rented our first house out. So now we reside in Graniteville area.
Right.
Yeah, we like the area.
I had a home in Graniteville. 6 years on Rancier.
Actually, that's my street. We live in Rancier Street. Yeah.
It's a small town, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So I lived there 1996 to 2002.
You see. That's a small area. That's a small area,
Just you can see the ski club ski hill above you.
Yeah. That's over there.
And that's why they like the school. They bet you they walk to school there.
No. Actually, they still are staying in their Catholic school where they used to. Yeah, because we moved the houses, so we had to. Originally, we had to transfer to the school, but we were allowed to stay in the school because of our youngest son who attends the daycare in the area. So the bus picks them up from the daycare.
So which school do they go to?
St. Hubert's.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, we love that school.
I know people that have been there.
We do love the. Also, the school is small, very like
Yeah.
I call it a family school. So
It is,
I know
yeah.
all the teachers, the principal. You always, when you come to the school, you're always welcomed. You're always happily greeted, and I love this atmosphere. And when I see my kids' faces when they are at school, because now 2 of them are going there, so I adore the smile on their faces, and they want to go to the school. I've never heard them saying like, "Oh, you know, Mama, maybe I would stay home today," even if they have runny nose or some little cough, and I feel that maybe they would be okay to say, "Oh, no, we're going to the school." So I love that.
Yeah. Well, shout out to St. Hubert's.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, that's great that you're finding a place, and if you decided that this is a good place to raise your
Yes.
family.
Yeah,
And
like
then,
the family, the values change when you have the family, and when you think of what is best for your children. You still, I can do my job online. I'm pretty flexible. If I want to go into some other spheres, into other directions, I can also do that by just simply clicking on the computer, because I'm okay. I'm okay with working at home. Still, maybe I would change. Maybe, again, if I want, I can do that here in North Bay too. I can find a job if I want to. I'm a teacher, so I can go to the school. I can teach in the school. I can do my job online again. I can continue teaching online, or I can do more for the community here. And actually, that's my main goal. What I want to do. I think we have a lot we have a lot what to do and where to grow. So just more is coming, and that's what I can say.
well, I think from what I could tell, the Ukrainian culture is a hardworking people.
Yes.
Very dedicated and pragmatic in approach. And do you know any individuals that are looking for work?
A lot of them are looking now. My friends, a couple of friends, they are looking for work. Some of them are homestay moms for now because they have little kids, but eventually in the future they would be going to work as well.
Now maybe you can come up with some type of job bank or
You mean yes employment?
yeah, well, your own sort of part of your community to help network, right?
Yeah. They should go there. Like some people, like in my surrounding, I don't have exact people just except for moms who are looking for the job, but still there are many who I think are looking for, let's say, stable income, to make sure that they would be able to later afford to buy the house, or just to get the permanent residency. Because the question remains for Ukrainians to find a job which would not only provide them with money for life, but also will give them the path to get permanent residence in Canada.
Yeah, there's certain employment that helps in your applications.
Yeah,
right?
because employer should also fulfill the certain criteria. So he's not just like you have the job and you are okay to apply. No, the employer also should correspond to the needs of the market, to have all these things, to have the certain amount of money, yes, that he works with, a certain amount of people hired, and etc. So this is not also an easy task. And maybe if you've heard about this Ukrainian special pathway that was launched by Canadian government, there were more than 23,000 applications, and in the last year they actually approved only 357 out of them. So it's like only 1.5% out of the whole amount of the application. And they combined these applications of Ukrainian special pathway with humanitarian and compassionate program. And they gave certain quotes for that, certain quantities. So now, for example, for these two categories, they are given only 10,000 approved applications for this year. So then 23 a no number of humanitarian and compassionate together. So this is not an easy thing. So people can be waiting for PR for 2 or 3 years due to that quantity of.
That's rough.
Yes.
That's a hard process.
Yeah, and people who are facing the problems of going to Ukrainian embassies to get their passports renewed, or let's say to have their work permits, and still they gave the opportunity to prolong, to renew work permits for the next 3 years, maybe because of that reason. But still, people would like to know that tomorrow they will be still in this country and not just kicked out. Sorry for saying that upright, but I think this is the thing. And especially not to be sent back to the country which is still in the war and no one knows when it ends.
Yeah. No, it's there's a lot going on worldwide about that war and the support, the U.S. and what way it's going to go. Today is the day that Donald Trump's inaugurated.
Yeah, today.
And who knows what he's going to dream up next as a priority.
Unpredictable man.
Yeah, so it has everybody on edge, really.
Yes.
Businesses and other countries, because you're not quite sure from what he's saying what he's actually going to do.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's a matter of everybody having anxiety, and everybody's seeking a little bit of assurance
Yes.
and stability and calmness.
Yeah, that's true. That's sad, actually, that we are facing this situation. But what I can say on my side, that we should always support the ones who are on their land and protecting their territory. Ukraine has never entered Russian territory. Ukraine has never gone first into the fight.
They did enter into their territory recently.
Later,
and that was,
just to secure.
Yes,
Yes,
yeah.
just to secure. Even Kursk, yes.
Yeah.
But
you
again,
didn't provoke this.
yes,
That's what
but
you're
again,
saying.
again, going back to the history, Kursk originally was Ukrainian, so that was originally Ukrainian territory. So that part again. So that's why I'm saying that people should always verify the facts and go to the history. That we were provoked, but before that, until 2014, when they came into Crimea, Ukraine had never gone anywhere behind their borders to fight because they thought like some people who are speaking Ukrainian, let's say, they are humiliated and etc. So no. Again,
a long history of battling Russia.
Yeah. That was I think the wrong turn for Ukrainian history was done in 1757, if I'm correct with the date, or 47, when Bogdan Khmelnytsky, the Ukrainian hetman, so he signed the agreement with the Moscovians then. That was the way when we turned into the wrong direction, because he thought that he would seek more support. But eventually we lost. We lost 300 years on the Russian Empire. And when we finally gained back our independence, we also lost it now, just because this Russian Empire is never able to just stand back and to declare that no, Ukraine is an independent country. So I think that's a sick idea. That's honestly a sick idea of thinking that the Soviet Union could be brought back just by one man who thinks that's the thing. This is the way the things used to be, and they should be in that way. Yeah. I think that just he should go to some hospital. That's what I can say. You know who I'm referring to, of course. I think that's the safest way.
Yeah, well, I think we're in agreement there.
Yeah. And from the lowercase letter, because no one in Ukraine will ever call him from the uppercase letter, from the lowercase. So that's like the lowest type of respect.
That's and well-earned disrespect.
Yeah,
For sure.
true.
Caused a lot of pain and suffering and death and traumatized people for generations.
Yes, that's the thing.
Well, I'm glad to have you here in North Bay. Welcome.
Thank you.
And hopefully I can help in some small way and just spreading the story a little bit. And I'm wishing you good luck on your fundraiser and the opening of your school. I think that's a great first step for you. Not a first step, but it's a big step. Like you say, language is the most important thing. And if we can all communicate clearly, we can better understand each other and everybody can have an easier way. So thank you very much, Nadia, for coming to the studio today. And maybe we'll have you again we'll do some lessons. Maybe when you open your school, I'll do something and I'll try to actually pronounce what you're saying. Yeah,
you're always welcome to join. Yeah, the classes. So I'll give you the date.
I need some chess lessons too.
Yeah,
so.
okay.
My kids got really picked up on my boy's 26.
Oh.
And he was recently home recovering from a surgery.
Oh.
And
I hope he feels better. So now
he's recovering, and we've been playing a lot of chess. And he's now able to beat me. So I'm going to need some lessons to get back on top.
Okay. So you'll beat him with Ukrainian, yeah? So you'll come home and
I'll come back with a little bit of extra strategy. Right?
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
So again, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me here. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
So this is another Small Town Times Productions podcast where we try to connect people in the community of North Bay and area. Have a good day. Please like, share, and comment. And that helps spread the word.
Thank you.
There you go.
Yeah, thank you. I love that. Yeah, that was amazing.